lane limiter.
Yeah, that's right. The noise you can hear, that's a maximum 40k. If you do 41k down this pit lane, you'll be brought straight back in again for a pit lane violation.
So Ant Pedersen moves up into the third position with Daniel Gaunt pitting. As we watch the race lead, there's Mitch Cunningham, so he's the first of the International Motorsport team cars to pit. Another former Toyota Racing Series champion like Daniel Gaunt. There's Daniel Gaunt down the other end of pit lane. There's a fair amount of separation between International Motorsport and Triple X.
It's like anything they do, these two teams, they are so fierce in competition that they just separate themselves and get on with their own business. But
well, that's status quo, so Daniel Gaunt retains track position over Mitch Cunningham.
Yep, and what they've done, as we expected, they changed the right-hand side tyres. Daniel, you see going through the dirty stuff there, no option, because unfortunately you just can't blend in. So what I mean by that, Jamie, there's a white line painted. If you cross that white line, it also can bring a penalty in. So he's got to be very careful what you do there, because when you go out of the pitch, you actually drive through all the dirty part of the track.
Now these two have to pit before lap 22. They both pit at the same time. You made the call, Pedersen.
Thank you. Craig Beard right on the back of Johnny Reid. Both taking advantage of the 40Ks.
Now Johnny will go in first. He's at the top end of pit lane. Craig Beard will be right down the other end. So there is the International Motorsport team going to work. Yeah. One rail gun.
That's right, down on the ground, both back up again.
There's the change, pin goes in the front wheel, lock up the rear.
Yeah. Now let's have a look down the other end. The Beard car's only just stopped now. That is what 40 kilometres an hour is down here. It is like an eternity when you're driving one of these cars.
Oh, this is going to be tight. Can Johnny Reid retain the race lead? Can the Triple X team turn Craig Beard around quick enough?
There's your answer.
It's going to be close.
Advantage, Johnny Reid.
Johnny Reid retains the race lead. Simon McLennan also making his pit stop. It hasn't changed anything.
It's changed nothing. It was the gap that they're racing at, half a second or whatever it happens to be. Johnny Reid's been released from the pit lane. He's up to speed now. Craig Beard's there as well. Wow, you couldn't ask for a better script, could we?
So they were pretty much identical times with the pit stops. We've seen in the past that the International have had some good results from the pit stops, and the Triple X guys have made a couple of mistakes. Then it swung around the other way, but it's status quo before they made the pit stop. As the sun comes back out at Taupo. Has Beardo got the lights? So he hasn't put the headlights on. He has got the headlights on. Certainly Mitch Cunningham's had some nightmares about being chased by Craig Beard with his headlights on and early on in the season. Mind you, Johnny's got his lights on.
Here we go. This could bring the safety car out.
Mike Morton has beached the Outlaws bar 997. Now, can he drive it out?
No, he can't. No, he's stuck in there. That's turn 11. That's one of the highest speed corners. So will this bring the safety car out and just change the whole outlook of this race?
Maybe not so much for the first two, but certainly it's going to close Ant Pedersen and Daniel Gaunt up if a safety car is dispatched.
Yeah, look, it's in one of those positions. Hopefully Mike can actually get that car out, just drive the thing forward. But he got a long way into the gravel trap. That gravel, it just sucks you in and it stops. It's what it's designed to do. So we're going to find out soon. But these guys continue battling regardless.
So inside the last 9 laps, Mike Morton's beats the Outlaws bar 997. They're at turn number 11, waiting to see if he can get that car back up and running again as Beard takes that different line, just that half look up the inside into turn number 1. He's still in the gravel trap.
There's no doubt he's waiting to be rescued. I just hope that they just put a cautionary yellow out. So at this stage, yeah, no, so this is turn 4 and 5. So a little bit further down the track, you're going to see the flag marshals frantically waving all the yellow flags to advise these guys that there's a pending danger coming up, and it happens to be the Mike Morton car in the gravel. But I just hope they let this race continue for these guys' sake, and they just leave a local yellow out there. No, there's a safety car, so that doesn't look like a very good sign at all. The lights are on. They may be waiting to pick up the leader.
The AMG Mercedes safety car about to come out on lap 23 of 30. Don't go away. This is definitely not over. Lights are off and the AMG Mercedes safety car is peeled off into pit lane. We've got a race 1 restart off the back of the safety car. Craig Beard trying to look down the inside, but you know Johnny was going to cover down there into 1, but maybe not as much as I thought he was going to.
No, but look at the next part of the shot. Daniel Gaunt got the run down the inside of Ant Pedersen. He backed himself early, went down the inside, realised he was there. So it changes the outlook of the championship yet again, because Daniel had to take the all-important 3rd place. Now, tyres are cooled down, the brakes would have cooled down. It is who's going to be the bravest for the next 2 laps until these cars get back up to temperature again. Johnny Reid. The advantage Johnny Reid's got, he can slow Craig down as much as he likes in this part of the corner, but he's the first one to get on the throttle, so he's always going to have that initial drive. So it's going to be on the way into the corners where Craig's going to have to do a bit of a lunge. Nothing's going to happen here. Maybe into turn 11, he might try to do the crossover. So that's turn 9, come up to turn 10, which they call this really nothing of a turn. Now turn 11. Car behind is either going to go to the left or the right, whatever Johnny does. I can't have it. I think Craig will do exactly the opposite. Run down the inside. Nah, nothing come of it. Not
a lot of room, but you thought there for a moment he had the opportunity, and that's all that Craig Baird needs. So at the moment, a 15-point swing to the favour of Johnny Reid, with Daniel Gaunt back there in the 3rd position. So the championship lead down to what? Just 10 points, with Craig Baird making a little gain as well. Reid's outbraked himself. He's made the mistake.
Now he can come straight back onto 2nd place. He won't.
How would he come back on track in 1st? Does he have to concede this? Oh, controversy here. Johnny Reid making the mistake under brakes into the final sequence of corners. Craig's going to pick him up.
He's going to come across and defend it. Craig's going to give him a rub. He's just going to let him know he's there. Johnny's gone wide. Johnny's got the inside running for the next corner. Craig's going to come hard across. Now, if Craig can stay there, he's got the inside running for 3. If Johnny can stay there, he's got the inside running for 4.
Oh, there's not a lot of room there.
Advantage still Craig Baird right now.
And he gets sideways.
Yeah, look for Daniel Gaunt down the inside right now. No, he's come across. To be honest, if Johnny had stayed there, he would have got away with it, because he went into the corner leading. He didn't actually get an advantage over anybody. So I think they would have let him get away with that. Could be wrong, but that's my take.
Well, what a sequence of corners. You know, there's some respect between those two guys, because that just could have really ended badly. There was a little bit of rubbing and racing going on, but Craig Baird seizes the opportunity, and the championship complexion changes yet again.
It does, and we alluded to that after the safety car, that it's going to take 1 or 2 laps for these cars to get back to speed. And unfortunately for Johnny, he just went in a bit too deep, locked the rear wheels. He did save it. You have to say it was a magnificent save. The 2 options he had, one was throw the car completely sideways or go across the grass. He took the smart move across the grass, but Craig Baird just had that run into turn 1 and made it stick all the way 2, 3, and they decided to concede to 2nd place into turn 4.
So Baird's extended out to a 1.3 second advantage. He's been 2 tenths quicker than Johnny Reid on the last 2 laps. Mitch Cunningham, he's there in the 5th position. Still in 6th is Hugh Gardner. It does look like Mark Madron is the leading 996 now, ahead of Simon Evans. Just in the last few laps there, so Simon Evans might be having some issues out there on the racetrack. He was 2.5 seconds a lap slower than Mark Madron on the last lap in that 996 battle.
Just Daniel Gaunt's certainly lining these guys up behind him, and you want to be careful one of them doesn't get a little bit impatient here and try to do something desperate where it's going to compromise the race altogether. But say the man out front, Craig Baird's only got 14 corners to go, and he will take the race win, followed by Johnny Reid, and this championship is just getting closer, and it's going to come down, no doubt, to the very last race of the championship.
Last lap board is out for Craig Baird. There's Mark Madron in the Shaw Mariner 996. So he's got the 996 race lead. Simon McLennan is a good lap or so down after that deflated tyre earlier in the race. But he'll salvage something out of this race with a 3rd place finish in class. So there is Simon Evans. So Simon's obviously had a drama out there on the racetrack somewhere, because here comes Craig Baird, the race leader, with the headlights on. And he's extended further again out over Johnny Reid. Pretty much identical lap times last lap between Baird and Reid. How dark is Johnny Reid going to be with himself after that mistake?
Very. But hey, look, he's still in 2nd place. It could have been a lot worse if he had taken the other option, which is completely spin the car. Then he'd probably be down in 5th or 6th place. So he made the best of a bad situation, consolidated what could have been a very bad situation in his 2nd place, but has actually gained on the championship leader. So you can't say that it was too bad.
So 25 points now covering the top 3 in the championship. Daniel Gaunt with a 10-point advantage over Johnny Reid. Craig Baird a further 15 back. Baird's going to take the victory. What a race. 30 laps for the first race, and it's been an entertaining one. Lots going on. Craig Baird win number 8 for the championship. Johnny Reid, he'll be a disappointed 2nd. Daniel Gaunt crossing the line in 3rd ahead of Ant Pedersen and Mitch Cunningham, with Hugh Gardner completing the top 6. 25 points cover the top 3 in the championship with 2 races left to go. So here is the results board. Race 1 for the Crown Lift Trucks Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge from the Batterytown 200. Craig Baird from Johnny Reid, Daniel Gordon third, followed by Ant Peterson, Mitch Cunningham, Hugh Gardner. Mark Madron takes his first class win in the 996s ahead of Simon Evans and Simon McLennan.
Better, mate. We couldn't ask for a better script, even if we tried. I had everything, you know. You're battling away, then all of a sudden Johnny folded, but the pit stops, everything was just fantastic to watch.
Yeah, there was nothing in it between Johnny and I. He made a bit of a mistake, and it took him a little while to sort of collect himself again. So he just locked up coming into the bottom. So I wasn't really too sure that it was a penalty thing or not. So he left a bit of a gap here, and I started here and finished it down at about turn 5. But you know, I'll take my hat off to him, mate. Look, he is just one of those good blokes to race against. He's you know, there's plenty of guys. He could have had me off then for sure, and he knew when to hang in and when not to, and we went side by side through here, and I reckon he's probably the only bloke in the pit lane I could probably do it with.